Hi everyone, welcome to today's video, part 2. What is your soul element? Understanding yourself at a elementary level. In this video, I'll go over all the elements and how to analyze your chart. And before we begin, please don't forget to like, share, and subscribe. And please don't forget to press the bell icon for notifications. That way you don't miss any upcoming videos. Your support is greatly appreciated, so let's please begin today's video. Elements of your astrology chart. Before we begin, there's a part 1 of this video, which goes into the basics of elements and how to look at your chart. So please do watch that video. So the elements. So this is just a little recap before we get into analyzing charts. Elements. So air. That's Aquarius, Libra, Gemini. Fire is Aries, Leo, Sagittarius. Water, Cancer, Pisces, Scorpio. And earth, Taurus, Capricorn, and Virgo. Now the element of air, which is Aquarius, Libra, and Gemini. These are the networkers of the zodiac. They carry the mental energy, and they are very detached. They're very, very creative. They're filled with ideas. They're the ones that come up with the inventions and the new everything that is. Everything is an idea before it becomes actually produced in the world. So everything kind of begins with the air sign. They're adventurous, they're fun, exciting, and they're very socially inclined. The fire sign, they are the doers. They're the doers of the zodiac, and these are the Aries, Leos, and the Sagittarius. Where air is a mental energy, fire is a physical energy. And they represent strong ambitions, spontaneity, enthusiasm, impulsiveness. They're the achievers. They're extroverts. They can be bossy and interesting, very passionate, and full of energy. So fire represents the energy of life. So first you have the air, and then you have fire, and now you have earth, which is Virgo, Capricorn, and Taurus. The earth signs are the builders and the producers of the zodiac, and they are dependable, grounded, practical, reliable, loyal, materialistic, and reliable. And they are materialistic because they actually bring dreams to the real world. They actually build and produce things that are material because earth, again, is mass, right? So it's everything to do with mass. They're putting mass together. And water, that's Cancer, Scorpio, and Pisces. And these are the feelers of the zodiac. They're overly emotional, highly sensitive, very private and secretive, but they are refreshing and charming. They are introverts, they're shy, and they're very intuitive and compassionate. They can have psychic abilities. They're also very nurturing, and they want to be nurtured, and they're very resourceful. So your chart, if we're looking at your chart, what we want to do is look at your chart, your complete chart, and we want to look at how many fire elements do you have, how many air elements, earth elements, and water elements. So you take these and you're getting a sum total of your planets in these elements. So for an example, let's say your chart has 15% fire, 70% air, 10% earth, and 5% water. What does that produce? What does this say about you? It says that you're very creative, you have lots of ideas, you're highly imaginative, and you're a dreamer. You're intellectual, you like to communicate. You do have low energy to start on ideas that you have. And you're also low action, and you have trouble finishing things. So you kind of have trouble starting things. You also have trouble finishing things. When you start something, it'll be slow and it'll be steady, but you do manage to create. and you're not too emotionally you are not too emotional. Therefore, you can come across looking a bit cold. And this is the reason why is because your air element is very high. So air is it gives a sense of detachment, aloofness, and they're always off in their mind. They're always thinking. There's always something going on. So it has nothing to do with you. It's just they're busy in their head. Now, the reason why these people would be very creative, filled with ideas and imagination, and they're dreamers is because of this air element. It is so high. And air likes to communicate. They're intellectuals. Now, the low energy, low action, trouble finishing projects, that's the fire. You see, their fire is fairly low compared to their air sign. Now, fire and air go together. They work well together. Earth and water work well together. So when we're looking at the elements together, we're seeing how they fit together and what they produce in a combination. So here, the person will be able to create things because their earth and water is in fairly good combination. So you have double the earth, and so if you have 2 buckets of earth and you put 1 bucket of water in it, you can create something with that mass, because it's not so there's not so much water that it's runny, that it's not holding together. So you are able to create, but the fire element is low, so you will be slow to start. But you'll have a lot of ideas. You'll have a lot going on. So the thinking and the ideas, all that's there at the starting up is a little bit slow. And because the fire element is low here, you're also not aggressive in your nature. So if we're looking at a different example, let's say your water element is very high and your fire element is low. Your air element is low and your fire element and your earth element are again fairly low. What do you have here? You'll have someone who's overly emotional, very sensitive. They're not a creative person because you see their air is very low, so they won't. They're not creative. They're not social. They're not so social. They have low energy because their fire is also very low, and they're not very constructive. Okay, that's because they have too much water. And there's not an issue with the water, it's just in relation to the earth, which is only 10%. So when you're looking at earth and water, what are they producing? They're producing mud. It's a very, very liquidy substance which you can't put together to form anything of mass. So it's not constructive. So looking at the quality and modality of a element, you're looking at cardinal, fixed, and the mutable. So each element has its own way of looking at each sign as well. We're looking at the quality of it. So cardinal signs are Aries, Cancer, and Libra. And fixed signs are Taurus, Leo, Scorpio, and Aquarius. And the mutable signs are Gemini, Virgo, Sagittarius, and Pisces. Now, if we're looking at the cardinal signs, what does it represent? We're looking at Aries, Cancer, and Libra. So they are actually action-oriented. They're dynamic, interactive, and they have great force. If you're looking at fixed signs, Taurus, Leo, Scorpio, Aquarius, there's resistance to change. They do not like change, but they do have great willpower, great focus and concentration. And the mutable signs, Gemini, Virgo, Pisces, and Sagittarius, they're adaptable, they're flexible, and they're resourceful. So I don't want you to confuse modality with the element of astrology. So elements are fire, water, earth, and air. And modality is the manner in which particular qualities are expressed. So how are these elements expressing themselves? So if we're looking at focused air and we're looking at adaptable water, what does that produce, that combination? You're looking at a hurricane. So if your personality has this, then this is the kind of action it will produce. Now, if you have a relationship, one person is this and another person is this, then their relationship will kind of produce this. So now you can see that how we look at charts and how we see whether they work well together, or they're fighting each other, or they're helping each other. So mutable air and fixed fire. So the fire is movable, and the fire is fixed. So when you have fixed fire, then you can start a fire. So if you take a mirror or a glass and you put it on a spot where the sun shines on it and it concentrates on a fixed spot, it will ignite a fire. So fixed fires can start fires. The movable air can create something like a forest fire. So this combination. So if you have a relationship where one is this and the other is that, then this is what you get. So this is not so good. Now let's say that the air here isn't movable. Let's say the air here is fixed. I'm just giving you a different example. Okay? Then you could actually not have a forest fire because it's not spreading. See, this is movable. So here, it's not spreading. So what you will have is then you will just have fire. And fire can be very constructive. Okay, so that was today's video. Please don't forget to watch my next video, which is Venus in all 12 houses. It reveals a lot of secrets of Venus, a lot to do with love, romance, sex, and marriage. So please don't forget to watch that video. And my channel is Astro Loca. Please don't forget to like, comment, share,